Feel like I should have the entertainment tonight. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Music running underneath all of this, because normally I don't like to touch any of this god-awful trash, this pop culture crap, these despicable human beings, their going-ons, but when it's a certain subject like Bill Gates, who wants to be a fucking supervillain, and then you got that pan-faced retard over there who has made the society in which he is feeling the wrath of oh so hospitable, you just love to dunk on idiots. And what we got right here is perhaps a little glimpse into what happened with the Gates family. Okay, perhaps Melinda isn't quite drinking all of that globalist Kool-Aid, and when we talked about I think the initial report, the divorce, the one after the one where it's like, okay, they're getting divorced, they issued this fucking amicable statement, a whole bunch of shit will be coming out after that, and boy howdy, was that a prescient prophetic statement. Because something else, some of the other details that's going to be out there. Okay, yeah, it's been known for a while that Bill Gates, once he eventually kicks it at 380, however long he's going to be around for, once they find a way to put his brain inside of a fucking Krang-like device, when he eventually kicks it, all of his funds, thanks to the Giving Secret or the New World Order, whatever the fucking Giving Pledge, that's what it is. Most of his funds are going to be kicking it out there, and the people that are on that board who have also pledged to give away all of their money, it's kind of a who's who of who's really pulling the strings. All of the big businesses, all of the big companies, all of their CEOs, all of their chairmen, all of their founders, those are the ones who are going to be pledging their money to go away to good causes. What are those good causes? Globalist efforts. But what kind of stuck out like a stiff prick in a whorehouse was the fact that the kids, he's only got 3 kids, they were, of the $130 billion that the Gates are worth, are only going to be getting $10 million a piece. Now, I can understand Bill's logic on this one, but I can also understand Melinda being like, okay, listen, I know where your money's going to be going. I know what kind of shit you've been up to. I think that it would be better suited in our kids' hands than some fucking dirty world builders' hands. Just my opinion, but what would I know? I'm just their mother. And now is the perfect time to be doing that, because she has a high-powered lawyer. They have not much or a flimsy prenup. I'm not too sure. And if we can just take a small moment to examine the look of this family, like, okay, obviously, that kid right there clearly has the good looks of Bill and has the head structure of the mother. Okay, the boy looks like a spitting image of the old man, but that girl right there, I don't know, was the fucking mailman ringing twice on the way over? Like, she looks nothing like anybody. Okay, like even some of the younger pictures, and this is, ooh, my dude, if she's underage, that is a very smart girl who I wish her very successful life and all the wonderful things that at least $10 million of an endowment preclude that. And if she's overage, we'll switch that up. Oh no, she's 18? Yeah, I'd fuck the shit out of her. Attractive as all hell. Anyways, maybe these poor Gates kids are getting more than $10 million after all. Thank God, because, okay, I'm not somebody who demonizes rich people. Okay, you work hard, you do something brilliant, like, I don't know, rip off the coding, and you make Microsoft, and you make the first accessible and usable user interface, and make Windows, and it's, well, fundamental to everything I do throughout the day. Okay, it makes this show possible. I feel like PBS, your donations make this show possible. But you do something like that, you should be allowed to profit off of it. And you should be allowed to write it into your will, to set up an inheritance for whoever you deem it to. For whoever you want to give your house, for whoever you want to give your cars, your worldly possessions. Once you shuffle off this mortal coil and pass into a non-corporeal form, whatever you have accumulated on this blue death sphere, give it to whoever the fuck you want. But you should be taking a look. You should be taking after your kids. You should be looking after them. If I can say it for a third time, you should be making sure that those kids are properly taken care of. $10 million might seem like a lot to you, me, and pretty much everybody I've ever known and probably will know. But if you want to be a little bit more conscious of where your funds are going to be going once you no longer have a say about it, yeah, I'd be taking up this cause. Divorce experts say there's a clue in Melinda Gates' blockbuster divorce filings that she's angling to change her 3 children's inheritance after her estranged husband, Bill Gates, has repeatedly said he's leaving them a mere $10 million apiece. It's all relative, my friends, all relative. And then they'll only be getting $5 million after that, because I'm pretty sure there's inheritance tax and all the other fucking death taxes that go on there too. Is just, it'll be a pittance by the time that the kids get there. Again, it's still like fucking 7 digits, but still. Melinda had taken a highly unusual step, according to experts. Like I said, I don't know any of this family court shit, and at the end of the day, Bill's gonna get raped because that's how the fucking courts work, so sucks to suck. Has taken a highly unusual step of naming top trust and estate lawyers as her representatives in her divorce filing, along with the customary matrimonial legal eagles. Page 6, it should be just ripped off and thrown into the ocean. High-profile divorce attorneys Harriet Newman, Cohen Oive, and Martha Cohen Stein Oive point out that Melinda has well-known trust and estate lawyers involved in this case, and that it's most unusual for trust and estate lawyers' names to be listed on a divorce filing. The move, the duo told Page 6, in an interview signals Melinda has potential plans for her family that diverge from Bill's. Yay, that kid Bill different. I don't understand. Bill Gates has said his kids will get a minuscule portion of his vast wealth, worth $130 billion. The Microsoft mogul plans to leave just $10 million per kid. Jennifer, 25, Rory, 21, Phoebe, 18. Ugh, awful name. During a past Reddit talk, the billionaire stated, "I definitely think leaving kids massive amounts of money is not a favor to them, and some people disagree, but this is what Melinda and I feel good about." They feel good about it. Apparently not. It looks like she's going to be backtracking on that. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of stuff that maybe you weren't necessarily forthright with Melinda about there, Bill. Like how you were consulting with Jeffrey Epstein about leaving Melinda all the way back in like 2011. Ooh, well, good thing you weren't getting marriage advice from the Clintons. Otherwise, Melinda would be getting everything. Bachelor sex offender, that's the nicest way to put pedophile. Jeffrey Epstein gave Bill Gates advice on ending his life. Not killing himself. Ending his marriage with Melinda after the Microsoft co-founder complained about her during a series of meetings and the money manager's mansion, according to 2 people familiar with the situation. At least it's 2 people. Could they be in cahoots? I don't know. Again, this is fucking trashy stuff. A little bit off the beaten path. Normally I'm just talking about sports, which is, a similar level of reporting. And then politics, which is even worse than all of this crap. So maybe it's a little bit more reliable. Don't know. Gates used the gatherings at Epstein's $77 million New York townhouse, just a pittance, more than what his kids would get, as an escape, not Epstein's kids, because they don't get anything except for a life of indentured servitude, escape from what he told Epstein was a toxic marriage, a topic both men found humorous. The girls that Epstein likes can only get married in the Middle East. A person who attended the meetings told the Daily Beast. Again, this is from the Daily Beast, and it's hilarious, right? Because the Daily Beast is reporting on this, and if you guys don't know, the Daily Beast is run by Rick Wilson. No, he's the editor-in-chief or editor-at-large, or his ears are large and he looks like a gremlin, something like that. No, he's got the horn over there, and a big we're right. Yeah, sure. A big leftist outlet who's turning on Bill Gates. Shit gets a little bit weirder as more of his connections with Jeffrey Epstein start coming out, and it's funny to see the left eat itself. By funny, I mean satisfying. The billionaire met Epstein dozens of times, starting in 2011 and continuing through to 2014, mostly at the financier's Manhattan home, a substantially higher number than was previously reported. You don't say. Creepy people know other creepy people and don't disclose how many times they have creepy meetings? I'm fucking shocked. Their conversations took place years before Bill and Melinda announced this month that they were splitting up. Yeah, because they stopped talking in 2014. That's 7 years ago, pal. Gates, in turn, encouraged Epstein to rehabilitate his image in the media following a 2008 guilty plea for soliciting a minor for prostitution, and discussed Epstein becoming involved with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Fucking hilarious. And that leads a little bit more into the speculation as to why the kids would be getting a little bit more per Melinda's orders, because their foundation might be a little bit compromised considering who they're dealing with, but that's not the worst of the stuff. And another reason why she's going to be making this one sting, because Bill had a lengthy affair with a Microsoft employee who wanted his wife to know. Yeah, guess what? There is no such thing as a free meal. Just because you fucking get in some side and you have the smooth moves and charisma as Bill Gates, doesn't matter what your pocketbook reads out as. You got the moves like that, some fucking 8 or 9, whatever you're reaching up to. Yeah, guess what? She knows a whole bunch more moves than you, Bill. I should have just paid her off. I should have just let her take a trip on a certain airplane. I'm just saying, his computer programming skills are a little bit stronger than his pimp hand. Bill allegedly had an affair with a Microsoft employee, and their tryst was being probed. That was the only thing being probed by the company's board last year. When Gates stepped down, a report said Sunday the company's board became aware in 2019 that a Microsoft engineer penned a letter alleging that she and Gates had a sexual relationship over the years. Ugh, I'm sure that was wholeheartedly disappointing. The woman demanded changes to her Microsoft job and also asked that Gates' now estranged wife, Melinda, read her letter, though it's unclear if that happened. Yeah, well, did she get a better job? Because then I think we'd probably figure out if Melinda ended up reading that letter. Board members hired a law firm to conduct an investigation into the relationship during the probe. Bill was on all fours. Some members grew concerned about the allegations and decided that Gates, who founded the tech firm in '75, should step down as director of the board. Yeah, he left before the probe was complete, so there's nothing to be seen here because the probe was never finished. But the billionaire was still reelected to Microsoft's board at the annual shareholders meeting. Yeah, because they've seen what happened before when a big head of a company ends up stepping down and you're trying to relaunch because you're coming off of the disaster in 2019. That was a few years after, Windows 9, whenever they had to update literally everything to be Windows 10 because the previous operating system was a complete and total dumpster fire. They needed some sort of stability at the top, and then they seen what happened when you shake up ownership, when you shake up leadership with the biggest rival over there at Apple. You have Steve Jobs. He's a tyrant. He's an asshole. He's praised by some people as being just this genius, which I won't take away any of his creative skills, but you know what, if he could have worked with people a little bit better, perhaps he could have got a little bit more innovation out of the rest of his team, and he wouldn't have had to take unnecessary amounts of credit for everything that was done by the entire team. But I digress. Another story, of course, for another day. But that's the reason why the board would have stuck behind their guy, because the name Gates and Microsoft are synonymous. You can't just install somebody else there. Steve Ballmer's too busy dancing on the sidelines at Clippers games in order to be wooed back into the fold, so there's nothing to be done there. And what's Bill gonna do? End up retiring to his ever-expanding amount of land ownership that he has across the country, invest more time in patenting technologies that definitely don't lead to little microscopic microchips for tracking purposes, or genetically modified foods, or no, nothing like that. Couldn't possibly have anything better to do with his time. Microsoft received a concern in a letter in the latter half of 2019 that Bill Gates sought to initiate an intimate relationship with a company employee in the year of 2000. The Microsoft spokesman said, is that before or after? What came first? Windows ME, then Windows XP? Windows ME was pretty good if I recall. I don't know, I was still pretty young at the time. Spokeswoman for Gates admitted that, there was an affair almost 20 years ago which ended amicably. Oh, it's so delightful. She denied that his decision to step down from the board was related to the affair. No, it has nothing to do with the probe that was launched in 2019 and that he stepped down over. No, it had nothing to do with that. But that's the current state of Bill Gates' disaster. I will personally never forgive Bill Gates because he was the topic of the video that resulted in my warning being on my channel, which is going to linger over this fucking place till the end of time. So anytime I can throw dirt on this fucking grave, oh, you bet your ass I'm going to be taking it. And speaking of once fine asses, let's talk about this 35-year-old fucking disaster area. Okay? This little pile of damaged goods used to be one of the most attractive swimsuit models out there, okay? And now she's just a fucking lonely old bitch sitting atop her ivory tower while her beta bitch husband, John Legend, tries to tour about the country to stay the fuck away from this toxic cunt and will take a fucking show at whatever casino will literally book him. That's not fair, but the sentiment is still there. Listen, she's been going after everybody from the comfort of her mansion, well, her husband's mansion, behind a keyboard, from the likes of former President Trump. Former and future. How does that work? Does that kind of cancel out because you got the passing? Anyways, one of Teigen's most notable feuds included a former president of the United States. She famously went head-to-head with Trump via Twitter during the 2016 election and throughout his time in the White House. That is, until Trump blocked her on the app. Yeah, exactly. After 9 years of hating Donald J. Trump, could you imagine hating somebody for 9 years? Oh my God. I barely know people for 9 years, let alone hate them for that long. Telling him, lol, no one likes you because what, she's 6? Was the straw. Teigen wrote on Twitter in July 2017 alongside a screenshot of the image saying Trump had blocked her. Well, she laughed off the move. No. She kept dragging that up for literally ever and then would just not let him go. Teigen did admit that that not being able to see Trump's Twitter gave her anxiety because she's an idiot and doesn't know of the incognito tab or just signing out. Why anybody would take advice from this broad fucking shocks me. Because he often used the platform to communicate with the country. And in probably my favorite little backhanded insult, and this might have slipped past a bunch of people, just disregarding her existence as she loves to be the center of attention, called her the filthy-mouthed wife of John Legend. That would have stuck in her craw for literally ever, and I'm sure she's probably hating him because of that statement to this very day. And she has a lot of time to foment her rage. Because as you can see, she also takes on the tough targets like Vazahin, we'll just call her Q Wallace, a little child actor. Teigen doesn't pick on just people her own size. The Bring the Funny judge didn't have the nicest words to say about actress Kovanzahe. I'm trying, kid, okay? Wallace in 2011. At the time, Wallace was nominated for an Oscar for her role in Beasts of the Southern Wild at just 9 years old, but Teigen wasn't completely sold on her talents because even she's jealous of a fucking 9-year-old. What a petty cunt. Is it okay to call a small child cocky? She wrote in a now deleted tweet because she's very brave and can stand up for her own statements. Teigen's harsh comments resurfaced amid her drama with this. I'm being fair because she's come out as being non-binary, whatever, going by they, them. I wish something else would come out. Anyways, Teigen's public fight with Courtney Stodden took an internet by storm. Stodden, who came out as non-binary in April 2021. How could you not believe in the binary system with such a terrific pair? Whatever. They have the right to do whatever they want. She wouldn't just publicly tweet about wanting me to take a dirt nap, but would privately DM me to kill myself. Things like, I can't wait for you to die, the reality star alleged in the Daily Beast in 2021. I don't know what their backstory is, nor do I really care. Hopefully her back is alright, or that's back. They's back? She's got great tits. They've got great tits. God damn it. This is tough. Not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for their past bullshit in front of the entire world. She wrote, I'm mortified and sad at who I used to be. This is apparently, the lengthy Twitter apology from Teigen. She added, I was insecure, attention-seeking troll. I think that perfectly characterizes your entire life, but okay, if it's about this specific situation, you can continue. I am ashamed and completely embarrassed at my behavior, but that is nothing compared to how I made Courtney feel. What was the fallout of this? I wish something else would fall out. Courtney Stodden feels Chrissy Teigen's apology is an attempt to save herself. Her wokeness is a broken record. Yeah, and she evoked it. She evoked the woke word, and again, I'm my apologies. It's just difficult. I'm trying. Stodden said Chrissy Teigen blocked them on social media. This is going to get very confusing, so just try and follow along. Just hours after Teigen issued a public apology to Stodden following scathing social media bully claims from the lingerie model. Really? I didn't even know who this bitch was. That's not gendered. I accept her apology and forgive her. But the truth remains the same. I have never heard from her or her camp in private. Stodden 26 captioned an Instagram post of an alleged screenshot showing Stodden was blocked on the app. In fact, she blocked me on Twitter. All of me wants to believe this is a sincere apology, but it feels like a public attempt to save her partnership with Target and other brands who are realizing her wokeness is a broken record. Stodden, who identifies as non-binary, added in the post, well, Godspeed. You are 26. She is 35 and fucking finished because her cookware has been pulled from Target. Guess what, bitch? You make this fucking bed of cancel culture bullshit, and guess who got a fucking lie in it? And that guy's head looks like a titty. Anyways, apparently the wheels were turning on the deal long before Teigen's recent cyberbullying scandal involving Courtney Stodden broke. Yeah, that's a PR way of saying, oh yeah, no, this was going to be happening for a long time. Nobody was buying her shitty product because she is such a toxic bitch. They think that the chemicals are going to come off of her frying pan and into our food, so we're just going to have to go ahead and remove the line. Cancel culture is terrible. You know what it's not terrible against? The people who have created the situation for it to flourish and prosper. So I shed zero fucking tears for the fact that she's just being canceled. Hope she gets the full taste of this. I hope she gets depersoned, just like Trump. Gets kicked off all of those platforms. You know why? Because she's a big proponent of this stuff. And the only way that people like this are going to learn about the toxic behavior and their toxic policies is if they taste them firsthand. Will this change her perception on the world? Probably not. She is just such an insular cunt that'll nothing will probably ever penetrate her exterior and actually make her question any of her decisions. That might be the only thing that penetrates her because if you take a look at John Legend, anyway, if anybody in any of these stories is actually non-binary, my vote is on him. So perhaps I'm missing something very, very obvious, but this looks like the first example of cancel culture really firing back on somebody who was a progenitor of it to begin with. Because you had Al Franken at the outset stepping down of something that he could have just weathered in the Senate, and we wouldn't have had whoever the fuck is also out of Minnesota that's not Amy Klobuchar. He didn't really ferment it. He was just kind of one of the first victims on the left that was out there. But she was quintessential to the creation of this movement. You live by the sword and stuff the sword up your box. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.